In today's video, we're going to be making a repair on this controller for a few friends of the channel, Alex and Dominik. In addition to the joystick grips missing, they also said that the right stick will sometimes drift up and down, and the D-pad will skip over multiple items at once. Here we're testing this creeper controller out in Minecraft, and as they said, it definitely does need some work. We'll start first with some new joystick and grips. Ordered these off of Amazon. I also went on eBay and ordered some analog stick replacements as well, as my feeling is the right one at minimum will need to be replaced. Of course, before replacing, I'll try to clean and then retest this stick, but with the number of NHL games their dad has lost using this controller, it's probably just worn out. Alright, we'll go ahead and get a few of these joysticks out. This kit does include the tools necessary to get inside the controller. We're not going to use them, they're pretty cheap, but I guess if you needed to, they would work. The pry tool we will use. I tried to match the Minecraft green, wasn't able to, but I did get the green and gray, which I think will go good on the controller here. To start the disassembly process, we'll just first go ahead, remove the batteries, and then we're going to proceed with using the pry tool to get the hand grips off of the controller. If anyone's interested, you can see the model number of this controller here. So to do this, you're going to want to start, I find it easiest on the inside. Take your pry tool, just get in the groove here, and you'll be able to pop this side first, and then we're going to work out to the outer edge. Using the pry tool, we'll pop this handle off. Be careful because there are small tabs in here that could break. If one of them breaks, it's not a big deal, but you for sure don't want to break them all. Inside, underneath the handles, there are some torque screws. In total, I believe there's going to be 5 screws, 2 under each handle, and 1 under the sticker. As I mentioned, they did include the tools that you would need to remove these screws. I have an iFixit toolkit. If you're doing any work like this, I highly recommend it. The quality is way above most of the other tools that you'll use. While I'm taking these screws out, I'll go ahead and ask y'all why the Ender Dragon can't read a book. Because he always starts at the end. Alright, tough crowd. I guess we'll move on to this last screw underneath the sticker. Do have to puncture the sticker to get to this one, but again, it's the only way to make the repair. We're now at that part of the video where we can split the 2 halves of the controller case, exposing the circuit board inside. And what do you know? Hiding underneath the circuit board is the other half of the controller case. As I do with all my repairs, I will be washing all of the plastic parts using Dawn dish soap, just so everything's clean when we go to reassemble. As previously mentioned, I am going to go ahead and take a look at the base of the joystick just to see if it can be cleaned. Chances are we're going to need to replace it, but I might as well try this first. Overall, this controller is actually pretty clean inside. Very little dust, dirt, grime. So my guess is the stick is probably just worn out. It's not just dirty. We'll go ahead using some compressed air. We'll clean whatever dirt and debris is in here out, and we'll spray it down with some QD electronic cleaner, work that in a bit, and then we'll put this back together just far enough to be able to test. Did you guys hear about the Minecraft movie? I heard it's going to be a blockbuster. Come on, you know you wanted to laugh just a little bit there. I'll save you from watching some unnecessary footage here. Cleaning did not help, so we're going to go ahead with the replacement. Continuing on with disassembly, we'll first take this bezel ring off of the D-pad, and then we can go ahead and remove the D-pad itself. Next, there's another 5 torque screws. These ones are a bit smaller. We'll go ahead and get those removed and set aside. Now we can gently lift up on the smaller circuit board here. Then there's going to be 4 small black and gray wires that we need to desolder to separate the 2 boards. Using the power of poor video editing, I've already desoldered one of the vibration motors, and here we are taking off the other. At this stage, we have this board isolated to the point we need it to be in order to go ahead and remove one of these joystick bases. Unfortunately, I'm not as good at desoldering as I am at telling jokes. That said, we do need to go ahead and remove all the old solder here, and that'll free up and allow us to pull this right joystick base out of the circuit board. If you're a savage, you can cut this joystick apart, but in the end, you have to desolder the pins anyways, so I go ahead and I go that direction to start. We have it all desoldered. Going to go ahead and clean up all of this area with some solder wick and flux. Then we're ready to reinstall the new part. As I clean up the area with rubbing alcohol, apply some new flux, install the new part, and begin to solder, I'm wondering to myself if Alex and Dominik even play Minecraft anymore. Just in case, we'll go ahead with another joke. Why didn't the skeleton go to the disco? He had nobody to dance with. Alright, all jokes aside, off camera, I did assemble the main part of the controller back together. We don't need to see that again, it's just a reverse process. We'll go ahead and set this in the back half of the controller frame here. Snap everything back together and we're ready to reinstall the screws. You do need to be careful to watch these battery terminal pins here to make sure that they align with the case, you don't bend them. We're at that stage where we can go ahead and install the new joysticks themselves. Again, green, I know they got gray grips, but I think it's going to look pretty good on here when it's all said and done. And more importantly, hopefully the new joystick base we installed works, and we can get back to losing playing Minecraft. As we're wrapping Reassembly up with a few final touches here, get the hand grips back in place, we'll install some batteries, and we'll get a view at the controller fixed, clean, with new joysticks, and then we're going to be able to go ahead and test. Hopefully this thing works. The controller powers on. That's a good sign. Means we have most of the parts back in the right place. And we'll go ahead, load up Minecraft here, and see if we've solved their issue. This is a positive sign. The D-pad is working. It's selecting one item at a time. Here I'm just going to show you, simulate a bad joystick. See how it's skipping multiple tiles when I'm holding the joystick, but when I release, it's good. So we thought we had an issue with the D-pad. It was really related to the right analog stick. Now that we're loaded into a new map, we can go ahead and test this controller out. Looks like the right joystick is working as it should. We'll go ahead and run around a little bit here just to verify that all the other buttons are good. Off camera, I updated the firmware of the controller. I went into the Xbox accessory app and tested the functionality of all the buttons, so you guys are definitely good to go. Alex and Dominik, I can't thank you guys enough for being fans of the channel and for trusting me to make this repair. Super excited to get this back in your hands so you guys can keep gaming. For everyone else, thank you for watching, and I strongly encourage you to go over to the Rad Twin Takeover YouTube channel. I'll put the link in my description, and you can see some of Alex and Dominik's work. So this is what it's like to be a comedian. No one else laughs, but in my head, I'm like...